really good instructor and overall has full faith in your ability to teach basically the top level students at their location, or they got nobody else and they don't want to do it themselves, so they decided to send you this morning, okay? So you got the luck of the draw. Hopefully though, most likely you do have a personality where you do have the ability to motivate students and lead an effective class, okay? So now for the master's class, we're going over a lot of things, okay? What I'm going to be doing is, okay, simply explaining to you the overall concept of every level for the end program, okay? And how I personally have made it my own program, okay? And that's going to probably be one of the biggest things for you, okay? So I'm not going to go over the FTP, I'm not going over the timestamps, I'm not going over, okay, that stuff. All of that is located online, so you should have access to that, and you will not need to do that on your own, okay? Just also, if you're maybe taking over the master's program from maybe a past master's teacher, you will definitely want to speak to them. Doesn't mean that you have to do what they do, but you want to get an idea of maybe how they have assessed your students, okay? I would say that's probably the biggest thing, is being able to assess your master's students, because age-wise, ability-wise, right, it's all different, as well as just knowledge that they have about the topics and subjects that you'll be going over, okay, in the programs, okay? So, let's get started. The N for the program simply means non-literature, okay? So the program makers, whatever, discoverers, when they were sitting down and they were thinking about the name for the program, they simply decided that this is not literature, okay? So basically when the staff sits down with the students and says, okay, so which program would you like to take? Literature or not literature? Most of your students will choose the not literature. You might have some students who actually take your class and then take a totally different class because they just don't want to read a book. Okay? They do not want to take literature. That is a lie, okay? The master's program all have books connected with them, so they all have to read, okay? So when they show up and they look so upset when you're handing out a book to them and they go, what is this BS, right? Just be ready to handle it, okay? Because they're going to hate you for it, maybe. However, the books are different, okay? So, programs, you could think of this as pretty much as already the programs that we have at the fundamental levels, right? You could think of this as Eagle, Alva, Alva Plus, right? And then everything else, Bridge, Part, Birdie, right? So there are the 100 programs, it goes to 101 to 106. The 200 programs go from 200 to 203, okay? But anytime you have any questions, just raise your hand, guys. Let's go. So I'm going to be doing these in somewhat of a pairs for most of them because they are similar, okay, in some senses. So we're going to go over the N100 and the N200. We're going to go over the N100, and then these ones are in pairs. So like I said, it's not a literature class, but they all have books, okay? So here, 101 is only one book, okay? Now 102, 103, 104, 105 is a class combined, okay? So that means 2 terms, okay, with one book, okay? Now one thing you're going to want to consider and think about when you take over the master's program at your location is, where are your students? Because what can happen is they might have already learned 102, right? Maybe this term you're teaching 103, which means you're teaching the second half of this book, okay? You're teaching the second half of this book, and you might have new master's students who just leveled up this test, who also have not read the first half of this book, okay? It isn't that difficult because of the way these books are broken down. They're very short paragraphs. At most, they usually have to read maybe 16 to 20 pages per week, okay? Which they still won't do because they didn't want a literature class, so you need to prepare ways around that in your class, and I'll help you out if I can. Here, what money can't buy, little history of the world, and a little history of philosophy, okay? Any questions? All right, okay. So N101, the overall topic is moral philosophy, okay? So here we're going to be introducing students to the idea of what's right, I guess, or what's wrong, okay? Here, this is the only thing I'm going to be showing you from the FDP and program guide, and you'll see why as we move on to the overall program lecture. So if you look here, we're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, okay? So there's 6 components overall for the class that you'll be covering. Like I said, this is in the program guide, I'm just showing you. So here, they give you these 6 areas that you should focus on in the class. What Money Can't Buy, has anybody read this book? Anybody? Michael Sandel, what do you think? Good book, bad book, wonderful book, you hated the book, you loved the book?
It was really good.
It was really good.
Yeah, I did it this term with my students. I taught this
You
one
liked it?
this term. Yeah, I loved it.
Well, I'm just saying I hated the book. I hated the book, okay? I mean,
Yes,
the overall theme of the book is what?
it's about can you buy them. It's about markets and whether we should put a price on something that we shouldn't put a price on, in short.
And, okay, and the overall ending of the book, what does it overall teach us? Can we buy?
Well, it depends. I differed a little bit from it, but you said we shouldn't.
He says we should, but can we? Can I buy love?
No.
No.
Well, that's what we decided in class, but we took a little bit of a swing on it because my students really struggled with the book. At first I hated it, to be honest, because they didn't understand it at all. But then we took it a little bit of a different swing on it, and then we started liking it. So we had to adapt to survive in that class.
Well, I hated the book because I kept on waiting for that chapter to say, no, you cannot buy this, it's not right, it's wrong. But then every chapter would always start, oh, well, actually, in this country, you can do this, and you can do that, and you can buy love, you can buy it, right? So what do you mean? So there's nothing. The book should be nothing money can't buy. Money buys everything or something. I don't know. I was just like, come on, where's the punchline? All right, I'm sorry. However, you have wonderful things. Raise your hand if you know Tinder. You know Tinder, all right, we all got accounts on that. Okay, so here, I didn't use Tinder, of course, but I did explain to my students, for one of the lessons, can money buy love, right? I used the idea of a mobile app. There is a mobile app where you have to submit your income statement or your tax returns, I forget what it's called, but only the wealthiest of the wealthiest people are allowed on it. So different concept like this is where you're going to bring the class and your students. I had them actually create my own profile, a profile for me, since they don't necessarily care about stuff like that. How you doing? There is a sign-up sheet somewhere. The concepts in the book might not always be directly related to your students, however, you'll need to figure out a way to get them more connected to it. Obviously, making fun of your teacher, creating a profile. So I gave them pretty much like a blank sheet where they put my name, my age, my income, what was my job, right? Of course, they could still put my Peter Rodner, right, as the job that I have, but they still had to state my income, right? And was that important? Did you want to put that? How about my university? What university? So they came up with some interesting profiles for me. So this is the overall, the idea of the book. Okay. Oh, here it is. Luxy. Luxy is an app where you can go on, and it's just like Tinder, I guess. I don't have the income or tax statements to get on it, but the idea is that only millionaires, pretty much. This is the millionaire Tinder club or something like that, okay? And it's interesting, but this is the type of concepts because you'll need to add your own content to the book. You'll need to add your own twist to the book to get the students connected and get the students to understand it. As you said, the students had difficulty understanding all of them, also just connecting to it sometimes, right? Okay. For the overall program, it's going to be repetitive. Like I said, this is why I didn't like the book. Every chapter, well, can money buy love? Well, let's think. Oh, yes, it can. Oh, can money buy, what was another topic? I forget. Should you be able to kill an animal with money? Well, yeah, you can, right? Right? So all these things. So every program, it's pretty much, or every lesson is going to be identical, okay? So this is the overall book that you're going to get, right? So you start off, you introduce the prompt. This one is about killing animals or endangered animals. Is it okay? Can money be a way for you to decide whether or not that's appropriate, right? Then you'll explain to them the ideas of the lesson today and what you're going to be creating. So for here, it was, well, let's make some type of incentives, right? What type of money would be okay? What type of money would be available to like the society? And for example, the black rhino, I think this topic was and stuff. Here, just like in V1, they give you little excerpts of the book. So if they don't actually read it or they don't have their book, you actually don't even need to go back into the book. However, I recommend that you choose some of your own passages in your own parts that you would like to read in the book. Sometimes this doesn't give us enough of the context for them to really understand and for you to get enough of a discussion going. However, the reading should have been done for homework.
Yeah, how big are the chapters in this book?
Not that much, like
Same as the
30.
philosophy book?
No, it's a little bit
A little
more. It's a
longer.
little bit more, I think. But they're
Just
still short stories. It's
Not
like,
stuff you could read in class though. Because like the philosophy class, I was able to read, literally read through it and discuss it as we go.
I wouldn't want to do it because I'm not a literature class.
Sure.
And they didn't want that, and I don't want that. 'Cause I
Okay.
don't teach that.
Okay.
So, I mean, you totally could, but I wouldn't want to take, I'd rather do a project, I'd rather discuss, I'd rather have a debate, you know, all those other things
Sure.
for my class and let the literature teacher handle what they do there. Okay, so you go back to the prompt. So this happens every class. You go right back to the prompt after you, because they didn't read and they don't know, right? But in overall, I don't know, that's the book itself, at least for me, like I said, I'm going to explain to you my approach with the class, and what I've had issues was that every class, it ended the same. Can you kill an endangered animal even if you have a lot of money? The kid, no, that's not right, that's, you learn. Oh wait, no, you can, you can, okay. So, what do you guys think now? Is it okay or not okay? There's a little, well, it's
Okay.
still not okay, but can money do it? Yes! Okay, and it just seemed to happen like every class. So, predict towards the end because you don't want to have the same class every single day, right? They want something new, they want something different, okay? Here, the research can be a very difficult situation for many of the students, not only in this one, but in all the programs. I recommend you have 13, 12, whatever weeks, right, with your students. Stop thinking of it as I need to get them 100%, right, proficient at research, summarizing and presenting in the first day. Think of it as a marathon. You have 13 weeks to get them there. To start off, I usually pick my own research, okay? Usually I'll get something, a video with an article. So sometimes you can find ones, and print out an article, let them watch the short video, and then we together will summarize the points or information that are important or that we can use to help support our opinion, right? By giving them that, I can know what they should be getting or what they should be knowing, because when you let them just go all out on the first day, I don't know what they read, so I don't know if they found the important points. I don't know what information is missing, but for the research, I recommend that you start off by printing out just one news article, going over it together, showing them where did I get this from? Can you see the website? Oh, it's from, right, Bloomberg.com, or it's from Reuters, right? Wherever it is that you got it from. Oh, is that legitimate or is that not? Is that reliable, right? Okay, what's the title? Who wrote it? Is it an opinion? Just so forth and so forth, okay? Instead of just going, okay guys, I want you to go on the internet, right? I want you to Google, because that's hard. It's really hard to Google. I mean, unless, I don't know, anybody
difficult.
good at Korean? All right. I'm horrible at Korean. I've lived here for years, and honestly, like, if I had to Google where to get, like, you know, the stickers for your garbage, that's really hard. I just Google garbage, right? If I had to find it, and I come up with a billion pictures of garbage, right? I could translate the word suregi, that's garbage, I know that much, right? Garbage. Right? So this is very difficult for students. So you're going to want to help them with this in order to help make the whole term, right, stronger and better. Once they get good at it, sure, then you're going to say, go for it, guys. Let's see what you can find. Let's see what you can bring, okay? Then, once again, here's the project. It was introduced, right? And now you create the project where you're creating some type of intangible or tangible incentive to allow them or not them do whatever the issue or the topic is for the day, okay? Very structured, lots of sections in the book, okay? All right, N102 and N103 history major, this might be right up your alley. Something that you're interested in. Do you like history?
Yeah.
Why?
I mean, certain periods appeal to me more than others, but yeah, it's just the story of humans, really. Similar to anthropology, and I just like seeing how basically nothing's changed. All of the acts are the same. It's just society's kind of views on these acts have changed. Nothing new.
I don't know if it was your accent or just what you said, but it sounded really cool. I wasn't a big history guy, I'll be honest like that. But actually, I like this book. I did. It was kind of cool. For this, the N101 and N103, remember, once again, you'll have students coming in at different times, right? For example, you'll have new students coming in at 103, meaning the second half of the book. So you're still going to need to go over some of the basic structure of the class and what you want done, okay? At the same point, like I said, you want to be able to switch this up because sometimes you might actually go to 103 to 102. Basically, either you're going forward in history or back in history, pretty much, okay? The books are, once again, like little short books, okay? Same thing for 104 and 105. However, this is the history of philosophy. Anybody like philosophy?
Well, I love the book.
All right. Yeah, I like this book too, actually. It was hard or easy? You said you...
Yeah, I just did it I'm doing it right now.
Okay.
Yeah, like you start with Socrates, Aristotle, Plato, the old ones, you go through all the, now we're on like Hobbes and some of the newer ones. But like the concepts were all different.
Yeah.
But it was really good discussion, like, especially if you have really smart kids, they sort of grasp it. So like free will, or, do we have choices? So you can have some really fun discussions.
This, yeah, also same thing. This book, like the history book, it's ever changing. It's always different. There's a lot of different topics. Once again, though, you'll have stale topics or topics where students have difficulty. Unlike with the 101, where it's all, well, can money buy it? Yes. Can money buy it? Yes. Do you have money? No. Do you want money? Yes. Right. Here, these have a lot more varied topics for the history and for the philosophy. I enjoy these classes a lot more. Okay. For this one. Does anybody remember how many triangles we had last time? 6. Now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So 5 triangles, which means there's a little bit less. Okay. Actually, there's a lot less with these two. Okay. Here, they start off with just a bigger picture. Less of, hey, what question will you ask? What will you show them? What will you tell them? Right? It's just a picture. Did you use this picture a lot?
I always skipped it.
Okay. So that's his thing, is he always skipped it. Yeah, a lot of these pictures don't actually quite relate, so you're going to need to create your own prompt, okay? Like I said, there's less here a little bit, and it's going to get even, you'll see. So here, you're going to need to come up with your own questions, and honestly, you're going to look at this picture and say, well, what question am I supposed to say? What is this? I think the question says, are you happy? Oh, okay, right? You need to add more to it, okay? So, and that's why the master's program, that's why you're here, is because you add something to the class. It's your class, okay? Whether or not it's a master's, C1, C2, right? That's probably what the location sees in you, okay? Once again, here they do provide you here with the pages that they should have read. So sometimes there's 2 pages of this, but here, basically page 3, 4, 5, and 6, okay? So it's not a lot of reading. So yes, for this book, you could possibly read all of that, but you probably wouldn't want to, okay? This, once again, is similar to like a research where they're saying, hey, go find some important or key topics in the book and what you thought was interesting, okay? I took a different spin on it, and I like history, or I thought history was interesting because fact is stranger than fiction, and what is interesting about history? You go find it out. So here, I would have them find the part in the book, right? Where they said, oh, find this word, find this, right? Read about it, go search it, go find out about it. Start off in Wikipedia if you want, then go find me something new, go find me something different. I think, especially for the history one, I learned about Henry VIII and all his wives, and then one of them went into one of the wives and found out that she was some type of fashion designer and she made hats very popular. I was like, okay, that's cool. There was another one where someone said that one of the women, I forget which one, made a mechanical bull because she wanted to have sexual relations with it because some spirit or God or something had told her that she lost her bull because, I don't know. But it was very interesting, and it came from reliable resource, I think. But this can be dry, so I found this a lot more interesting. So I would have them go search something about it, go find something interesting about it, then find me a picture, put the picture in the book, and introduce it to the class, the concept or idea that they found, okay? Here, you'll get a video. You'll need to download the video, not download, you'll need to find the videos in YouTube. You should know how to like bookmark or make a watch list and stuff. There will be videos for both the lesson of the program as well as the skill of the day, the rhetorical device usually, or the logical fallacy that you'll need to have them have or learn about. For this, you're going to want to keep in mind the videos go very fast, as in the speaker. He's basically speaking to native English speakers, right? And he even states in some of his videos, I have to make my video in 5 minutes and I'm going to do a short summary of the whole history, okay? Students, even the master levels, will have difficulty because he's speaking so fast, okay? And they need to find out, oh, I'm so sorry, that's not this. Is it? Yes,
Yeah, no,
it
it
is.
is.
Yes, it is. Okay. So what I did was I watched the video, and then I would screenshot the important parts in the video. Okay. I would then make a media card and provide some of the answers or elicit from more questions. And it went so much easier than having to rewind to YouTube, wait for load, and to find this particular question that they're looking for. So instead, I said, I understand the video goes fast. Just enjoy it, see what you can get from it, let's discuss it, right? Then I would have my media card already prepared at that section. I'd send them the media card, give them the image of the part of the video, and see if they can remember anything from it. If they could, fantastic, I don't have to flip it over or anything. Send it to them, they have the answer, okay? Otherwise, the video goes very fast, okay? His name is John Green, do you guys know? Yeah, right. He's like, hey, John Green here with another video. And then, yeah, exactly. Goes really fast for the students, okay?
And they use like a ton of big words, and yeah, it's confusing for me too.
So like I said, a quick workaround for me at least was to screenshot that area on my tab, make it into a media card, and provide it to them. That way we could just discuss anything they found or remember from the thing. Also, they don't have to go crazy writing it down really quickly, okay? They do give you timestamps, and sometimes the video is upwards of 10, 15 minutes, so don't just sit there, okay? Otherwise, that's 15 minutes of watching a video that they don't understand, where the guy's just going, right? So for here, it says like first 20 seconds, here it says 1 minute, and here it says at 5 minutes, you should have this answer, okay? There's no way they're gonna be able to get all that, right, with the speed he goes. Then have your rhetorical devices or logical fallacies. Keep in mind, these are repeated throughout the program, okay? So 103, 104, 105, 106, and then the 200 levels, okay? So you don't have to have them grasp everything 100%. They can just get the concept. You'll probably want them to try to use it, okay, the best way they can in their presentations or in their debates that you have, okay? All right, who is this guy?
V for Vendetta.
No!
Guy Fawkes.
Guy Fawkes. Guy Fawkes was a good guy or bad guy?
Bad guy. Maybe a good guy.
Depends how you look at it. Right?
Yeah.
Why?
Yes.
History guy. I'm sorry, what's your name?
Ollie. He tried to blow up Houses of Parliament.
You try to blow, and that's a good guy?
Well, actually, funny English tradition. On the 5th of November every year, we have Guy Fawkes Night.
Okay.
You have fireworks and a big bonfire.
Okay.
And it's kind of like very strange. We have like a little scarecrow made on the bonfire, and there's like a ritualistic burning of Guy Fawkes every year in many fields across the UK.
So he's a bad guy, you're burning him,
we
right?
still to this day burn him.
All right.
Burn him in celebration.
Interesting, interesting. So, V for Vendetta, everybody knows that movie. Do you think your kids know the movie?
No.
Really?
Maybe.
Probably not.
They do.
Probably know the mask.
They know the mask, right? They know the mask. They know Anonymous. Probably they've seen it on YouTubes and other things. They probably have seen. At least my students saw V for Vendetta, right? But they don't know who the heck Guy Fawkes is. Okay. So in the history program or in the history levels, you need to find ways once again to connect it to your students. Okay. This was a whole lot cooler than just reading the chapter about Guy Fawkes. Once they understood what this was and who he was, wait a second, let's read about this guy. Yes, he did. He tried to blow up Parliament. Well, who else tries to blow stuff up? Are they good people or bad people? Right? You need to find ways to connect it to them. Then, in the book, he also tried kidnapping little girls. His whole idea was to kidnap the princess or something, or the queen's daughter. You don't know, huh, history guy? I know stuff, okay. But you need to find ways to connect it to them, okay? But here, I thought this was interesting. My kids were able to grasp onto it really quickly, immediately. This was my picture in the beginning of class. Do you guys know this? Is it a good symbol? Is it a bad symbol? What do you think about it? Most of my students all agreed that this is a good guy. This is a good symbol. This is like Anonymous fighting bad people, like supporting the weak and stuff like that. They went all off, right? Then we went into the book, and then we found out who Guy Fawkes really was. And I said, oh, so you like this guy, huh? This is your hero. He kidnaps little kids and people, and he carries gunpowder in his pants. That's how he tried blowing it up. He shoved it down his pants. I was like, well, that sounds like a terrorist to me. Similar concept. So, history, you can make it a lot of fun. You have to just find ways to get it to connect to them, okay? Don't just say, okay, let's read this history and find out who this person is. It'll take a little bit of research on your own, or finding out a little bit about your own ideas and your own strengths and what you know. Because you have such a varied background, all of you will find it in a different way, but your students just need to be able to connect to it, and that's the biggest thing. This is when I normally wake up, I think. Okay. All right. So, history of philosophy. Philosophy guy. Do you know this story? What is this story here? Let me make it bigger here. You got a choice in life. What's the choice?
Well, I don't know.
Okay. There is a train.
Jump on the train?
No, the train is coming. Oh, I'm sorry. What's your name?
Zach.
Zach.
You can save all those people by pushing the other guy in front of the train.
Uh-huh.
That's it.
However, there's a little bit more. This guy is very heavy, okay? He's a heavy set man. He hasn't
Gonna push really hard.
He hasn't been healthy. He hasn't, taken care of him. You got to set this up, because, teacher, how's this man going to stop the train? That's impossible, right? So he's very heavy. He hasn't been really, taking care of himself. He's wheezing and stuff. I don't even know how he got up the stairs, okay? But he can't get back down. But if we push him over, he will stop the train, which will save 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people, right? What would you do? What would you do? Push him or not push him?
I wouldn't push him.
You wouldn't push him. Push him?
Yeah, maybe, because 1 life for saving 5.
I wouldn't push him, but I'd encourage someone else to push him.
You would encourage him, yes.
Yeah. I would conduct a thorough interview with.
There's no time, man. I know this looks like an old school train, like a trolley, but no, it's going.
I'd probably push him.
I'd walk down the steps.
You just go on.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I have to think about it. Sorry.
Can I jump?
Can you jump?
Can I
Just kill yourself and suicide? No, you're not heavy enough. Look at you compared to him,
I'll
remember?
ask him to jump with me.
Oh, you're gonna do it together?
Oh, suicide
Yeah,
pact.
like
Oh, wow.
Group suicide.
Thelma and Louise or something like that. Okay. Guy behind the camera?
I'll probably jump.
You would jump?
Yeah.
You're not big enough though. It's gonna be an extra person dead.
Like, is there a right answer?
You tell me.
I would jump.
You would jump?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can't push him.
So everyone gave me an answer, yes, you would, or no, you wouldn't, or came up with some other idea of your own. Why? Why?
Because I have
Why yes, why no?
There's no right answer.
Okay, but I'm just asking you why for your answer. Yes.
Well, for me, I think that taking someone else's life in an attempt to save someone else, I don't know the outcome, so I shouldn't kill someone and take that choice away from him. If he feels that he should jump, then he should do that. But that's not my decision. So I'm not going to, so I'm gonna walk away.
No, I think he's got to die because utilitarianism and greatest happiness and all that. And there's 5 guys
Yeah.
versus this one wheezing, soon-to-be heart attack guy. Like, that's got to go.
I think those were fantastic answers, and I think if my student gave me that answer, I would be shocked and amazed. My jaw would just be, BAM! What are you saying? Okay? Not that they won't. Not that some of them won't. You will be amazed sometimes, okay? However, this is philosophy, and yes, there is no right answer. The instructor, I'm not looking for the right answer or wrong answer. I'm just looking for an answer, right? However, for my master's students, I'm looking for them to find the confidence in themselves or the ability in themselves to give me a reason why. Now, when I asked why, I didn't see a whole bunch of hands go, oh, yeah, let's go here, buddy, right? So, just something to think of in your questioning. I would say this is one of the biggest problems I had when I would teach this book was, okay, well, we used to C1, maybe C2, okay, why is that the major detail? Well, teacher, right? But with philosophy, it's a little different. So when you ask that question, think about how you would answer it, or prepping it, think about how you would answer before you just throw it out to your students and they go sit there like a bump on a log. You go, come on, guys, what's the matter with you? Right? It's not that you're not doing a good job. It's not that you're not loud enough. It's not, right? That they didn't do the work. It's just the question is hard, teacher. Right? Why? I don't know. Because he's fat. Whatever. Or I don't want to kill someone. Stop asking. Right? So you want to break it down. You want to maybe add stuff to these questions. You want to maybe modify it a little bit. Okay? You don't always have to use just the train. Like I said, set it up. This guy is very big. He's going to die soon, maybe. All right? Or I don't know, for whatever reason. Right? So I think for me, I changed it up. I showed a terrorist, and I busted in the room, I walked out, I busted, okay, all you down there, I'm a terrorist, I'm gonna kill all of you, right? Then I had media cards of a news story, okay? This has happened, Peter, teacher has gone crazy. However, I have a daughter, okay? And the truth is, if you kill my daughter, or you threaten to kill my daughter, right, I'll probably give up. So what would you do? Would you kill my daughter? Well, she's done nothing, right? So you need to put it in different ways and because this isn't enough, it's too hard for them sometimes, okay? So, like I said, that's where I struggled, right, with just why? And then, why did you say that you would push him? Why? It's hard, right? It's hard. So think about that when you're prepping the book, okay? Anyone ever see this video? Oh, it's great. Go YouTube him. He is hilarious. He is funny. So a lot of times when you do your presentations, so you're going to have a lot of presentations for the master's program, right? And you get the kids and they're just used to this normal structure. Hello, my name is da-da-da. Today we will be discussing, thank you for listening. Okay? Take it a different way. For me at least, I got sick and tired of those things. I was like, who taught you up and counted through to say 1, 2, 3, thank you for listening, right? I was like, that seems so awkward and uncomfortable, and of course if you're lower level and you need to do that, then I can understand. But you're a lot higher level. I use this guy, I don't know, he spent a year of his life responding to spam emails, and he's got a stand-up. It is hilarious, my kids loved it. Even though they don't understand everything that's going on, it's simple, and it's easy enough, and his PowerPoints just show like the words of the email, like, hello, fine gentlemen, I am a Nigerian prince,
Oh, I've seen
and I have found that you are the recipient of $10 billion. He's like, $10 billion? Are you sure about this? Me? I am positive. Please send the money. It's hilarious, and it's a presentation, and it's a different style, right? You want to get your students exposed to different ways of presenting information, and not just the same old, PPT, bullet point, this is my agenda, right? Like I said, make it your own, do something different. But he's hilarious. He's only made like 5 of them, I guess, but you'll watch them all and you'll love it, okay? Okay. So, for the materials, all the videos that you'll be using, here are the videos that you'll be using, okay? The materials in the book all come from either Wikipedia, you can literally copy and paste it and search and be like, oh, they got it from Wikipedia, or Crash Course. That's the video about the history and the philosophy that go very fast, and some of them can be very long and very difficult. They're all listed, and you can just start bookmarking them and save the ones that you want right into a list. Then there is this, which is Khan Academy. I always love these because I always tell my students, well, Chungdahm has decided that I'm not good enough to explain this concept to you, so I'd like to welcome, and it all starts off with like a student TA, like, hi, my name is Bill, and I'm from Georgetown, da 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 da. I needed extra credit because I failed the test, and here we go, let's find out about this live profile. It's so boring sometimes, okay? For these, here again, come up with your own ideas, come up with your own concept. If you don't understand the concept in the video yourself, then definitely be ready to find out about it more and give them more information about it, okay? Sometimes, it's meant, like I said, they're gonna get this in 5 times, okay? 5 different levels, same videos, okay? So don't worry about them grasping everything. Sometimes it's just about understanding little things or making it a little bit more interesting. For example, one of the logical fallacies, a red herring. Have you ever heard of that one? Okay, do you know how it got started? The name. So I guess, where do they hunt foxes?
In England?
In England?
Recently banned, actually.
That's good, they shouldn't hunt foxes. Maybe, I don't know.
Ireland
Yeah.
still do.
Okay.
France.
So they did the hunt fox, you know, and then so they had dogs who would go hunt the fox, you know, like they just sit on their horses, I guess. But some dirty bastard decided to bring a red herring and would go, and he would throw the red herring in another direction that the fox wasn't, and the dogs would go get the red herring. And that's where the logical fallacy comes from. And I was like, and my kids remember that more than they understand the idea of a red herring. But that's okay. Hopefully the next master's teaches you will be able to teach them what a red herring is, okay? But they'll know what the red herring is, okay? Okay. Any questions? Okay. We're gonna go N103, N104, N105, okay? So here, N103, you'll have a model UN. Has anyone ever done a model UN? Okay, neither had I. So don't worry, put your hand down, okay? It's not a real model UN. You can't do it. It's not real. Because a real model UN, you would have a lot more people, you'd have a lot more time, okay? But here, you're always taking on the concept of some country, all right? Like, you are this country, how would they perceive it? And that's very important for them to be able to start developing presentation and debate skills, argument skills. You're no longer Peter from Korea, who's a teacher. You are Juan on the Luxy app who has millions of dollars, and you know, he doesn't like the new taxes on me, all right? So that, and then there will always be some type of debate for the philosophy class. For the philosophy class, like I said, you'll want to modify those ideas because sometimes it's just not connecting to them 100%, right? So you'll think about that, just like any other debate or model UN class. You can go to the MUN website, tons of materials, tons of information. You do not need to go into everything in the Model UN right away. And that's probably where I made my first mistake, because I was used to the old Model UN program where it was just one. The 200 program hadn't been made yet. But in the 200 program, that's where they're gonna get all really like down to like what the Model UN is. Here, that's not as important. So don't go crazy spending like the first hour of your week teaching them every part of the Model UN and what it does and how it does. Just get them into the concept of I'm a country, what's best for my people, let's find out about my country. This is where research comes in and stuff. I'll show you some stuff. And this is just a debate pretty much. Okay. N106. How many channels we got? 4, they're going away. Okay, N106 is a little bit different here. You have an actual breakdown of the programs and lessons, okay? So, let's go. Okay. There is no pictures. There is no colors. It is black and it is white, and I even hate the font. I feel like this is like such an ugly font. I don't know, like, so, this is it. This is pretty much it. This is the whole book, okay? Rest is up to you, my friends, okay? British Parliamentary style debate. Sure, most of you or some of you, I feel like might be familiar with it or have done it before. Here, you're pretty much just going over same things, okay? But without the colors, without the information. If you have a lack of information or if you need a video, go back to the other programs, find those, okay? You can use them again, that's okay. But it's just, let's look at our resources, research, Here's how a debate is broken up. Here's your logical fallacy, right? And another part of the debate style, okay? Depending on the level of students and when they're started, it's kind of a difficult, you'll notice if you have like a new students in this or students who have been in the debate for a while, because on your first debate, you always have one, so, teacher, can we do rebuttals, right? And they're just, I'm like, no, come on, give other people a chance just to chill for a little bit before you go, right? So you may want to decide that, and that's, like I said, assessing your students' abilities, finding out who's new, who's not new, who is, you know, maybe a superstar at this and who's not. We also do, obviously, the Chungdahm debate competition here. It's always great, even if they're new and they do horrible and fall on their face, they really enjoy it, and they want to come back the next time because they fell on their face, like, teacher, we got to do this again, we got to like destroy them, okay? All right, here, all the debate prompts come from this website, okay? Idea, they all come from there, okay? So this is both good and bad. The good thing is that you can find stuff. The bad thing is as soon as you tell your students to go search it, it's gonna go straight to this website, okay? It's gonna be like the first thing they click, the first thing they find. They don't cite resources here. They give you the full argument, and you might be able to catch it. Maybe you'll notice like, whoa, that was an amazing article. How did and all they did was click on here and find the whole argument and then just copy the whole thing. So I don't really like it. You're going to want to keep that in mind with this, but all arguments come from this location. Okay, 200, moving faster. How many triangles? 3. Okay, this is all you get. This is it. There's no writing. It's just like a blank notebook.
Oh, nice.
Okay? There's nothing. They do give you, oh, this is a debate, but now it's just like, here's a printout, here's an opening statement. It's just like you printed it off, you know, like a textbook. Here's your position papers, right? There's nothing. It starts off with, what is something important to you? What should we debate? What is your stance? Let's debate, okay? So you gotta do your own stuff here, okay? You gotta do your own stuff. There's no way kids are gonna start raising their, well, teacher, I think we should discuss whether or not technology should be used for benefit, right? No, they're gonna have nothing, okay? Like I said, go back. Use, okay? Use this, or do what Chungdahm does. Use this, right? So find your information on your own, but there's no prompt to get them interested, because there's no prompt. There's no picture to elicit discussion. There's no picture, right? You need to do it all. If you're doing the 200 program and this is your first time, you should definitely speak to your master's program teacher or your FM about what can be done or what, because this is all you get, okay? Anyone doing literature? Okay, if you're doing the 200 literature, I think it goes down to 2 pages.
2 pages?
Yeah, I believe it does. I believe it does. But that's the beauty of masters, is that's what's great about it, is FM watches the CCTV. Well, did you do all the pages? I totally did. There was 3 blank ones, and now they're filled, right? So that's what makes you the master's teacher, right? Is you get to have classes like no other teacher, right? You get to do things in your class. People will be looking in and be like, what's going on in there? I don't know, it's masters. What are they doing, right? So that's the best part. You get your students at this point, especially if you had your students for maybe 2 or 3 terms, and now they're at this level. Oh, it's on. You know your students, you know what they can do. It's lots of fun, lots of fun. Some of the concepts, some of the ideas, like I said, like my classes. I ran the gauntlet. Anyone know who this is?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Henry Rollins.
I forget why I used him. He's the guy from Thor.
Yeah, he's the dad of Thor. Something about these 2 guys. North Korea, the Dalai Lama. What school?
Chungdahm.
Are you sure? Because it's blurred.
I can't tell.
So I used Chungdahm about racism, if you haven't. There was a franchise with the location. Here, the Charter of the United Nations, it's a heavy book, okay? Don't need to go over all of it until you reach the 200 levels though, okay? But if you're not familiar with it, it's got everything you could possibly need to walk in confident and feel like you do know everything. Here, for the Model UNs, it's called the World Fact Book. CIA, they know everything. This is a great website to use because when you ask them to be a country, they're going to want to know specific things about their country, like what religion is your country mainly? How is your government set up? Where are you located, right? And it's good to have one resource where the whole class uses, so that way we're all on the same page. And that way if somebody else wants to find out about the country that they're maybe negotiating with or discussing with or teaming up with, they can use that information to say, hey, well, what about you? You know, you guys are in poverty, da-da-da-da, education is an issue. They can then use that in their arguments, and it's good because it's just really easy. It gives you everything. Okay. The Model UN, this was a great lesson. The zombie apocalypse, it's all on the website too, which was great. It's like, all right, well, what do? I got 3 blank pages. The zombie apocalypse, it was like middle school testing period, and I had a couple of younger students. There were 3 boys. I knew it wasn't gonna go great unless I had something. So ended up providing them with a zombie apocalypse story, the world, right? You know, that whole thing. How do we divide it up? How do we do it? These 3 boys went crazy. They went so crazy that I was like, I can't give you any more paper. They just wrote it all on the board. They said, can we just write it on the board? They explained everything. They're like, okay, well, so we're gonna block this country up. We're moving all the scientists to Antarctica or something because the zombies, most likely they can't be there. They went crazy with it. Like I said, it was all on the Model UN, MUN website, and they even go into more depth. I didn't have enough people to even go into that depth. I just took some of the concept and some of the information and was able to work with that to get it. For the debates, right? Don't always have to have a debate, right? So for example, this picture here, what is happening? Where are we? What is this? It's not a debate, but where could we be? What could be the situation, I guess, or
Like a city council or something?
Yeah.
city council? Anything else?
I agree. It looks like some kind of a town meeting with maybe like the mayor and then, I'm not sure if the guy on the right is the police or medical.
Town hall meeting?
Some kind of hearing.
Okay, some type of hearing. Well, so for the debates, when you do your presentations or you do your activities, you're going to want to think of other ways to do it. So here, this could be a town hall meeting, right? And then you could actually have your students be one part and another part of the town, right? You can give them roles and characters. Sometimes I also have a teacher-parent like conference, like when the PTA. So maybe parents want this and maybe teachers don't, or the other people. I've also done situations where actually my students are the judges. My students are the people, so I split up into 3. One team on this side, one team on that side, another team on the evaluation side of it. So just don't always think of the debate as a parliamentary style debate, okay? That's pretty much it. Peter Rodner at gmail.com if you ever have any questions or any other thing else. There's just one other thing, just as the master's teacher, for me at least, because I wasn't, I guess a philosophy major or a history major and stuff like that, my biggest difficulty wasn't always just going through the materials and understanding it as me myself, but my biggest problem was presenting the material to my students, finding the right words and the right questions to ask to get response that was at the level that I was hoping for. I think it's Michael Sandel. Does he work at Harvard? I forget his name. Who?
I think Michael said that.
Is it Michael Sandel? Okay, Michael Sandel, he's a Harvard professor. He's got really long lectures. They're up to an hour. Not that they're not interesting. I mean, some of the stuff's pretty interesting. And if you're a master's, you're probably kind of weird and like interesting things, right? But he's got these videos on YouTube, and I've watched them, right? Especially when I first started. And the thing was, it wasn't so much that he was explaining the concept again to me, it was more I figured out how he asked the questions. And that's probably what makes him a great teacher and someone who works at Harvard is he's able to ask a question to 1,000 students and get 100 people to run down to the microphones and want to respond, right? So for me, like I said, it wasn't so much you don't understand it, it's just if you find your students aren't responding to you, maybe you're doing it in a C1, C2, oh, what is your response? Why? I don't know, right? So that just helped me out in my classes, okay?
What was the professor's name?
I think it's Michael Sandel. This for the philosophy courses mainly though that he's doing. But it's just more, like I said, it was just listening to him and seeing how he worded it to his class and how he listens. Just one last thing. For the masters, at least for me, I've always done a master's final presentation. You have to set it up and you have to present it, but if you can do it, they do an amazing job. So for me, this was for the Model UN courses because we traveled, or no, sorry, we didn't travel, but we talked about so many different countries. My final project was for my students to create some type of travel itinerary or program. Imagine, and I told them one day you're gonna wake up and you're gonna be in a foreign country, you wanted to travel one day, you don't speak the language, you're gonna be teaching English to someone. Oh, wait a second, that's me. But here, so if you don't know it already, Google Slides. Google Slides is great because they get to share their presentation with you. I don't know if this one has it, but yeah. So here, and they can use this and they can create a presentation. So, a very stressful image, no. Get out of it. So they had to research the areas, they had to find out about the country, tell me how long it was, and I usually do this week 13. Each student has to do a minimum of 5 minutes of a presentation. Anybody who does less than 5 minutes, I add up all the minutes and they have to sing me a song with all those extra minutes. But usually most of your master's students, as long as you set it up, they'll have upwards of 7 to 8, sometimes 10 minutes of a presentation. So this is one of my master's students. Then having the final project is probably one of the greatest things. It's one of the best days, for me at least. I just sit there and they literally go through. If you have 8 students, that's 10 minutes per student plus a few minutes of setup. I just sit there and eat popcorn. And they do really good jobs, really good. All right. Any questions? All right, thank you for coming. If you didn't sign in, I think there's a sign-in sheet over here.
I did have one question. So you touched on a problem that had loads about students just not reading the books. C2 Alpha Plus, most of the V1 classes. And it kind of always just ends up in like quite a tedious class, often summarizing large parts of what we should be discussing as a class. What do you do? I mean, I know there's no like black and white answer.
Well, for the history one, like I said, I have them go find something in the book and then go research it. The ones who didn't read end up researching what's in the book, right?
Sure.
So, because that's the first thing, like that's the biggest thing. The ones who do read, I tell them, well, don't tell me what's in the book, tell me something else. The ones who do read will actually find something a little bit more interesting, and my hopes are that maybe that will lead to other people actually reading the book, because otherwise you're just like saying the same thing everyone else already knew. But that's just because 90% of the book is just like that big thing that everyone knows about, right? So as soon as they hop onto the Google and research that idea, it goes straight there. So therefore, maybe they didn't read it in the book, but they read it on the website then.
Sure.
So for me, that was an easy workaround. The videos also will summarize a lot of the key points. But like I said, I wouldn't read in the class the whole section. They are really short. I might read 1 or 2 sections just to help them out. Okay. They should be able to handle the history book pretty well. Philosophy book, it's all about the concepts that they might not have. And that's where, like I said, you have to bring it together and help them out. Anything? All right. Have a wonderful day. Goodbye, I'm going back to bed.
Are you doing literature?
No, I'm not doing that.
Someone else is coming in?
Are you staying for